Hey, Katerina here with Tori.
Hi.
She just asked me what we were going to be talking about
She
today.
literally was pressing play, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what are we talking about?" And she said, "Yeah,
I'm going to spring it on you.
like great."
I think it just goes best if it's organic.
Have we done it any other way to know if it's better?
Nope, we wouldn't know if it was better.
Yeah.
Okay, one of these upcoming, within the next month, I promise I will tell Tori about a topic ahead of time, and we'll see if that's
So
better
I can
or
sit on it
worse.
and be prepared.
And then everyone can message us and be like, Kat was right. It's better. It's better if she surprises you with a topic that you don't like. Excuse me if you hear me drinking water, but I need to hydrate a lot because I have a clogged duct. Again, or it's coming. I can feel it coming in my boob with the breastfeeding. It's gonna happen. It hurts. So that's fun. Hi everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to a Curated Life podcast. Thank you for anyone who's left reviews, followed, downloaded. We appreciate you, and we appreciate connecting with all the cool people that listen and give feedback and let us know how they relate or what their thoughts were. So thank you, everyone. We are on Spotify and the podcast app and YouTube, which I don't recommend watching it on YouTube. It's just the two of us on my couch. And most of the time we look like we look today, which
exactly.
is like we haven't seen anyone important in a long time.
Because we haven't.
We don't put makeup on for this podcast. Maybe Tori would if I gave her a heads up.
Yeah,
You have makeup on. You look pretty.
Yeah.
You look prettier than I am, so that's something. So today I want to talk about, in the spirit of the new year and stuff, I was listening. So this morning Salem woke up at like 7 something, and I had been getting my kids ready for school, and yesterday and today I went and sat on the back porch with her in the hopes that the sunlight would touch her eyeballs and tell her that this is morning and in 12 hours it will be night and you need to sleep. His homegirl is not the best sleeper yet. She's just over a month old, so we'll give her a little time.
She's got a lot of time to grow.
Yeah, we'll give her a little bit more time before we return her. But I think she might be defective.
Yeah. I think she's got a warranty.
Yeah, if she's under warranty, we should look into that. I don't think she's working properly. So I was spending time on the back deck with a cup of chamomile tea because I knew I was going to take a nap when she went down for a nap again, and listening to some stuff from Mel Robbins, who's this very successful businesswoman. I believe she was on Shark Tank and stuff.
Yeah, I know who that is, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So big enough name that Tori recognizes.
Yeah, which is really shocking.
For a business person, that doesn't always happen. Tori knows her name brands really well. And maybe makeup. Celebrities, country singers.
Yeah.
I don't know those. If you name a country singer, I'm like, who? But Mel Robbins, we can both picture that person. Mm-hmm. So she's pretty great. Oh, here's Lola. If you watch on YouTube, you do get to see Lola's face. And she was, oh my gosh, Lola. And she was talking about personal integrity, but not in the sense of honesty to other people, but honesty to yourself. And talking about that in the context of the things that we tell our, okay, the dog just got on the couch. I'm sure that's nice and noisy for the microphone. The one animal takes up half the couch. But the things that we tell ourselves going into the new year, and I feel like it could be good to talk about the lies that we tell ourselves and then the truths that we tell ourselves, meaning it, and then later we feel like it's okay to take it back. Mm-hmm. And then also maybe the way we feel going into a new year. And I feel like years and years ago I always had these really lofty goals, and I had like very clear visions of what I wanted for that year, and it gets harder to do that. And also in some ways you realize that it's not about making a resolution or a goal. It's about what kind of lifestyle you want to lead that year.
Yeah, I feel like the new year is probably my least favorite time of the year.
Because you hate talking about
Because it's the time that I reflect on the like little secrets or like little secret resolutions that I made the year before and didn't hold myself accountable to or didn't.
So it reminds you.
Yeah,
of the
like
lies
it is
you told
my
yourself?
reminder, and it's like my year to reflect on the past year, and then like it's hard for me to take that and put it into something into this year. And then everybody's got these huge goals and like they're trying to accomplish them and they're starting off strong, and I am not that person. So yeah, I think it's like my least favorite time of the year.
I could see that, if for no other reason than how you feel about our daily practice that we do on the team. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, you can.
How you
How I refuse to participate.
Actually, I'm gonna have to make you do it today. I have to make Tori do this, or she won't do it.
It's horrible. It's
really
the worst part of my
really
job.
not that hard.
It is the worst part.
What was it that I read that made me start doing that?
I don't know. You started this a while back though, and your team really
a good while ago.
It's good for them, and they love it
because it's also good for you.
I don't want to be a part of it.
I started having the team, so we have a group chat, just like a texting group on our real estate team, a custom life realty group, and every day you go into the day, like even the night before, you say what your wins are going to be for the next day, like 3 of them. You can do more if you want, but at least 3 wins for the next day. So you go into that day having already decided these wins are going to happen. And then there's the accountability with the group that like if I get nothing else accomplished this day, these things need to happen. And then at the end of the day, we report back and we say if we hit those wins or not, and then what our wins are going to be for the next day. So they're kind of like goals, but I feel like I like to call them wins because
it's something that you read about living intentional, and that
it's
you were
really
on that
probably
kick.
because I'm not sleeping because of that fat cute little girl upstairs. Why I cannot remember what it was, but there's research behind this, and there are like the most successful coaches for business professionals do this sort of thing, and it helps you not get bogged down in your day, but like even more so it's supposed to help with your attitude. So like Tori, so when you get to the end of the day, you might feel like it was like a total shit show all day, and you're like, I feel like I was just running around, I was a mess, I was unorganized, whatever. But if you hit those wins, or even if you didn't, it gives you something to reflect on and either say, what kept me from accomplishing that thing that was so important to me that I wrote it down last night? Or, you know what? Nothing else good happened today. Everything was a mess. It was unorganized. I was just running around, but I did accomplish these things, and that counts for something important. You want to talk about why you hate it so much?
I just
She just hates it.
I hate it. I hate.
Do you think you hate comparing
like
everybody's wins to
and
each other?
That's my. I guess it's really hard for your team because for me, like I am the. I mean, I guess Ashley, she's not a mom technically, but she's raising a teenager.
But he's becoming independent.
Yeah, he's becoming an adult now too. But and she's. Everybody's like way on the adulting, way high on the adulting scale. That's on our team, and they're like uber successful agents and like really good with their like it's just they got all of that figured out. And then there's me, and I am hired to manage somebody else's life when I have no idea how to manage my own,
which is a very real job.
It is very much a full-time job.
Yes, it's a lot.
But a lot of theirs is like mom duties and like work duties, and I am know what my day-to-day looks like. I don't like to know what my day-to-day looks like. I don't want to plan for what my day-to-day looks like, which is why I shouldn't probably be on the podcast about this topic.
I try to remind Tori that if we have a topic we're talking about on a podcast, it's good that we're not perfect at that thing that we're talking about, because we're real people. So we're not always, it's better if we're not perfect at it, because then there's nothing to talk about.
For me, the worst part is like the disappointment of not like accomplishing anything, even if the day, like, there's always excuses, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the disappointment is just
of like, I didn't do that thing that
like
I said I was gonna do,
or didn't do it. But then again, I'm also somebody that's like, if I start building something or doing something, like, it's got to be.
You like to finish it.
Yeah. Like the magazine coming up. I'm like, it's consuming
hurry up
me.
and finish the magazine, which, if anyone is not on our list to receive the Custom Life magazine, just reach out and we'll put you on the list. Our list of recipients is people who are clients of ours and referral partners of ours. But if your intention would be, if you had somebody who was buying or selling a house in Richmond and you would refer them to us, then let us know and we would go ahead and add you to the list. We're happy to send it to you. We make this magazine every 6 months, and Tori does all the heavy lifting for it, and it's very cute and fun.
It is fun.
And it's a lot of work. I think sometimes when we set intentions, whether it's for a day or a year or any kind of time period or our lifestyle, there is the fear of disappointment when we don't do those things. Disappointment in ourselves. And that's where that personal integrity comes in, because for some reason it's like, it's so much easier to lie to yourself than to anybody else, because you can kind of just ignore it, or you can pretend like you didn't say that, or it doesn't matter because you're the only one that knew about it, which is why it's why in our team we don't just set wins personally and then not talk about it. We share them with the group every day, because then we have to talk about it, and it feels like more of a real commitment that we said we were going to do those things. And those wins, like for me, a lot of times it's about having quality time with my girls, like trying to find intentional time to just be with them and not be distracted in a day. But then it can also be business related, and I like to mix it up and have it be personal and business. And it's also hard when you're looking at other people's goals and comparing, which you should not be doing, because our lives are not similar and we are not the same age. And Tori owns a house. She has a dog and a long-term partner and a real job and friends and a social life. And she's very fashionable and people want to look like her and be like her. We know people that intentionally copy her style. And so you
wouldn't tell it on here. I know that.
Don't judge us ever by the way we look on this podcast. This is my living room. This is my personal home. I can look however I want to in this house. Oh gosh. I'm like falling in the kitchen. If I want to be naked in this house, that's my own business. And sometimes we are here because bodily fluids get on our clothes. I think for me, I came out of college.
You're always a game planner.
Always. I was like from the get-go.
Yeah, that's just who you are as a person. And we're in so many ways, we're so opposite. Like, and that is one of our biggest opposites, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure. I've always been this person, and like came out swinging hard. Like, I am gonna work really hard. I'm gonna accomplish these big things. You have a
hidden agenda, and
it is happening. And for most of my 20s, I would say I worked extremely hard. I partied less than anyone else was partying and had less fun and worked more than most of my peers. And it's what I wanted to do, and I was very content to be doing it. And then I think in 2020, I can remember New Year's Eve 2020, I was at my parents' house and I was talking to my dad, and I was like, I am not pleased with how this year went. And the year from a business perspective went fantastic. I hit the goals that I wanted to hit. I made the money I wanted to make. But I suffered a lot, and it was the first time where I looked back on a year and I said, that was too much. I suffered too much. That wasn't worth it. And like, it didn't totally hit me that I felt that way until I got my 1099 thing, or W-9, in the mail. And I opened it and saw the actual number. Like, this is how much money your company gave you.
Bring you excitement.
No, I saw it and I was like, and it was the right number.
Well, that goes back to even just this past year. I mean, when you passed your broker's license, or got your broker's license, that was a huge accomplishment. You always knew that you were going to get there and reach it, and that was such a goal for you, and you got it, and it was like
nothing.
Yeah.
Which is, it's sad for that to happen and to feel that way. And the reality is like the reason I felt that way in 2020 is because that's how it was. There were like, there was too much suffering. It took too much to get there. And then the broker's license, it was like, this is a really wonderful thing that's happening, but if everything else isn't aligned, it doesn't matter that this is happening. And really 2020, 2021, 2022 have been challenging.
2023, let's go.
We're not off to a great start, not gonna lie. We are 5 days in.
Yeah, I feel like
there have been some challenges.
Yeah, it's these past couple of years for you and for me have been
a little tougher.
Hardest.
Yeah, a little tougher. And
I'm just getting into the good stuff.
Welcome to adulthood.
It's just brutal.
Yeah. Oh, I think the other day I got a phone call from the vet about one of the dogs, and my thought getting off that phone call was like, it's like every day you're gonna get punched in the face. Like, you're going to get punched in the face every day. It's just a question of how hard.
Yeah.
How hard is it gonna? How hard am I gonna get hit?
For me, it's a week thing. It's every week. There's just
that's good.
Some challenge to overcome. Like, we have no hot water at the house now.
That's like, this week's challenge.
Yeah, it's just, it never ends.
There are really hard things that happen, and it's not a matter of, and I don't think it's the right attitude to look at your circumstances and say, well, my environment has kept me from doing what I want to do, or has changed what I'm capable of, or I can't accomplish this thing I wanted to accomplish because it's difficult. I very much don't believe in deciding not to do things because they're hard.
It's hard. Yeah.
Something being hard is not a reason not to do it. It never is. Now, it can be, the reason you can look at is, this would cost me this much suffering, and that's not worth it.
Yeah.
Or that's not a good trade. I would rather not have that thing. But something being hard, being difficult, it's okay to do hard things, and we can do hard things. But I've definitely seen a shift since 2020. And then 2021, we had a record-breaking real estate year.
That's when I came.
Yeah, you came the beginning of 2021, like spring 2021. And that year was baller.
Success-wise.
And really, every year in real estate up until 2022, I had grown a lot from a production standpoint. And then there was no way to grow from 2021. That was just, that year was insane. And it wasn't the goal to double. I can't even imagine having done that. I think my focus has shifted a lot more to look at my lifestyle overall and what I want outside of just being a good real estate broker. And that's hard for me. But I have these kids, and my oldest is 4, which is insane. The time is just gone, and it makes me realize how very short this time is when they're tiny. And when they start going to school and they're in school full time, that's it. it's over.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, 8 to 3, I'm not going to have them with me, and you can get a lot done in that time frame. So my focus has shifted a lot into my overall lifestyle and things that I want to accomplish and things I want to be outside of work. And obviously I still have work goals. Oh, the baby's crying, as she likes to do.
Let me get her.
Yeah, maybe. Would you
Hold on
mind?
a second,
Okay,
friends.
Tori's gonna come back. Apologies. But I obviously still have big work goals and need to set those, and it's important to look at that. But those goals are now made in the lens or through the lens of what kind of lifestyle do I want to have this year? How do I want to show up for my kids? And the goals of what I want to do with that money, which my why has always been my family and the future I wanted to be able to give my family. And that's shifted a little bit to go from what do I need to come up with monetarily to be able to give them certain opportunities in the future, to over the next few years, how do I want to show up for them as a mother, and how present do I want to be able to be, and having the right income and leveraging yourself correctly allows you to show up more for your kids. So that's kind of how things have shifted for me. And it is difficult going into a new year asking myself what I want that to look like, because it is hard for me, I think, to be honest with myself. Here, I'll try to feed her. Hi, whiny baby. Is it hard? It's very hard. Her brow is furrowed. Little Salem. But I think sometimes it's hard for me to be honest with myself. If I say I'm gonna work less, it's hard for me to be honest with myself that I'm actually gonna hold back in that way. But I really mean it.
Yeah.
This time. I think I did a better job of that this past year, making shifts.
You had to be intentional about letting yourself give yourself time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you've done a good job so far.
But I think part of that is shifting your focus into your lifestyle and what you want your day in and day out to actually look like, and making the changes accordingly. Now, what about you, Tori? So Tori's job's different than mine, but Tori's my 2.0. And Tori's days look different every day.
Every day.
She can't get bored
And it's
around
hard
here.
to make wins when you don't know what your day-to-day looks like, for one.
That's true.
It makes it hard.
Your wins could be not forgetting anything in my car. Or
yeah. So sorry, what were you?
Your wins could be like more vague, like mindfulness.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, I could work on
maybe. But
that is, yeah.
It is hard. It's different for Tori because I can have really concrete things that I want us to do for the next day, but Tori doesn't decide what we do the next
hard
day.
For me. And like a lot of my day-to-day is centered around work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard.
Yeah. We do spend most of our waking hours on this stuff.
And the good and funny thing about the two of us, and like in different ways too, but like we're both a little bit of workaholics.
Mm-hmm.
Like we enjoy, like it's fun for us to work.
We like to work.
I enjoy it, and I love real estate, and yeah, I could eat, breathe, and sleep it. And and obviously you're the same way.
Can't get away from it.
So it's hard for you and for us to be intentional about what else we're supposed to fit into that day, or what else we're supposed to fit into our lifestyle.
Yeah, for sure.
And being on that when we're on it, and putting everything else aside.
Right. Not getting distracted.
Yeah.
Something I've had to learn over the years is to put my phone down.
Mm-hmm.
And some things are an emergency in real estate. Sometimes there are deadlines and things that have to be honored, but a lot of times if it waits for a couple hours, it's fine, and it's gonna be fine. And knowing the difference between those two things.
And you've taught me that a lot, really, about what's what's really, really an emergency and what's not.
What can wait.
And like, I'm one of those, like, if I get a task, like, I have to get it done. Like,
Right,
I mean,
that's
it
like
is like beeline straight in front of me, like it's got to be checked off and done. And you've kind of helped me navigate what was priority right in this second, and then we can come back to this and work through this. And it's helped me a lot with that.
That's good. I've probably not helped with making your lifestyle any healthier, other than just giving you a job so you have to get up in the morning. Do you have any intentions of going into 2023 with things in your mind that you're going to tell yourself you're going to do differently, or lifestyle changes or anything? It's okay if the answer is no.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like I unintentionally set goals for myself, and like I do work on myself through the year, and I really try to not be the person that sets these New Year's resolutions and things, because I never follow through with them, and they're always resolutions, and by February you're done with it. And so I feel like I intentionally try hard not to create a goal for me for the new year. So yeah,
that
really
you know you're gonna lie about.
Exactly.
Which we love. I mean, the classics would be like, I'm gonna work out every day.
And I guess I'm a realist too.
Yeah,
and
you're not gonna wake up earlier. You're not gonna go to the gym in the morning.
Yeah.
And I would say that if there was something you had in your mind that you were like, I'm gonna start doing this in the new year, and you had this in your head for like the last month, you're not gonna do it. Because if you were gonna do it, you would have started it a month ago.
Exactly. And I am so that person. Like, if I have an idea of something that I want to work on, or something that I'm like, let's do it. It could be Wednesday. Like, let's start today.
Right. If you were
I'm
actually
not
gonna
like
do
one
it.
of those people, and a lot of people are. They're like, okay, we'll start Monday, or we'll wait till the new year, or we'll start next week, or this is just a.
If you're waiting on the right day. Oh,
Yeah.
Mama. She's having a hard life this afternoon.
So I will say I'm good about that. Like, if I set my mind to something that
When you decide, you decide.
But it takes me a while to.
One of our friends texted us that instead of making all sorts of New Year's resolutions that she knew she was going to lie to herself about, she made a resolution about her relationship with men, and
that was
not
good.
wasting time with men that she knows better. She knows that she's better than what that person is bringing to the table. And it's actually a really hard one, but it's a lifestyle change. It's not I'm gonna do this every day.
And that is inspiring to me. Like, it's not, it's a lifestyle.
Like, how am I gonna treat myself differently this year?
It's not like to lose 5 pounds, or like, the goals that we set.
To do a juice cleanse every quarter. I
love the 75 hard starting January 1st. Like, okay.
I would never. Good luck if you have signed up for that. May the force be with you. Yeah. That is so rough.
That is miserable. It's gotta be.
It looks really tough. I really like the idea of lifestyle and how you're treating yourself. And I think when you make decisions to treat yourself better, then it shows in all these other areas.
Right.
And there are lots of ways that we could decide to be kinder to ourselves, or to Mama. Oh my goodness. It's really hard when you're tiny and everyone does everything for you. It's just really tough. But like, I think that's more what I obviously have business goals, have monetary goals, things I want to accomplish.
And like, think of it as a lifestyle change and not a goal. I think it's a really important thing. Like, going back to that is like, say you do want to lose weight, or like think of it as, I want to treat my body better, or I want to fuel my body better, and not put a number behind, or like, you're only going to the gym to lose weight. No, you need to go to the gym because it's healthy for you, and this is a good thing that you're doing for your body and for your mental health and physical health. Like, think of it that way, and not as something that you're trying to do for your appearance.
And that does something about, I think, our psyches, because when we're focused on like a number on the scale, what we've told ourselves is the current number on the scale is not good enough.
Yeah.
That woman is not worthy of self-love, and she's not beautiful. And I'm not saying that's the case every time if you have a weight goal, but a lot of times that's kind
of.
And
this is just a top, like, this is just an easy one to
that's an easy one.
about.
It's an easy one to pick on. But I think a lot of times when you're focused on a number on the scale and that's your only motivation, you've said, the number that I'm at now, she is not worthy. And that's not true.
Exactly.
And how can you consistently be kinder to yourself if you
it's
feel
so
that
easy
way?
to give up if you fall short in that,
Because you're like, yeah,
so
she sucks.
easy.
I already decided that she sucks.
Yeah.
It's not that she's not good enough. It's that maybe you want to be kinder to your body. Maybe you want to feel better day in and day out, and focusing on things like that instead of a specific. Now, again, number goals are fun and it's fun to hit them, but if that's the only thing you're looking to, and you've told yourself that the person that's at this number on the scale is not worthy, that's gonna make it, I think that would make it harder to stick with, because you've already decided that she's not worth it,
and that's the only thing you're centering it around.
Whereas I think going into a new year looking for ways to be kinder to ourselves, whether it's where are my expectations of how other people are going to treat me, whether that's work or romantic relationships or friendships or family, looking at our boundaries with that and what we accept from other people.
And there's so much that can fall under just that.
And I that's why I love that our friend said that about her relationship with men. And her and I had just been talking about a man who had come along that I was like, you know, if you want to have fun, but he is so not worthy of your respect and your time. Like we can tell off the bat who this person is, and you are a joy to be around, and the person you're spending time with should be too.
And it's not somebody you would pick. You're just
And I love the idea of going into this new year with an intention like that of, I am not going to waste time with people where I'm trying to fill some void with someone who is not worthy of my time and cannot deserve to be in my presence. And I think work can be similar. Work is a tough one because sometimes you need your job, but it is important to evaluate the environment that you're in day in and day out. We spend a lot of time at work. And our friendships and our family, you might feel like you have to spend time with those people. You don't have to. It is a choice. And it goes back to something we talked about a long time ago, where are you actually stuck in the situation, or would it just be difficult to get out of it?
Right.
And that's another thing to think about going into the new year is, are there situations that I know are not good for me or that are not meant for me that I need to fix, change, get out of, and I have been avoiding it or not doing it because it's hard? So that can be, it's a tough one. It can be tough to set boundaries or leave a friendship or leave a romantic relationship or leave a job.
Especially on your terms.
When nothing terrible has happened today.
It's easier when it's crumbling, but if you catch it before it crumbles, it is the hardest thing to do, but it's the best way to go about it and to do it. It's really hard to...
That's a great point, is looking around and saying, if I changed nothing, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what am I gonna say? I can't believe I spent so much time in that. Whether it's a relationship or a work situation or the way you treat yourself. the way you take care of yourself or don't take care of yourself. I mean, for me, I've been like, when my big kids are not here in the mornings, I've been taking a nap when Salem goes down for her first nap. It is very difficult for me to do this. There is a broken inner child situation where I have been told that I do not deserve rest. I'm not saying that my parents said that to me. That is what my brain says to me because of the hustle that was in our house growing up. And
yeah, that's hard for me too, like the nap thing and the rest thing.
You are deserving of rest.
I'm not good at that.
And
at all.
It is okay to be less productive today and feed yourself properly, drink water, take a nap, go for a walk, whatever it is. Read a chapter out of a book, because you do not need to earn treating yourself well. That should be baseline. And I think a lot of times we forget that, and that's more where I have fallen short, I think.
Yeah.
And it's easier to sacrifice yourself sometimes, because that doesn't require anyone else's permission.
Right. Yep, it's you.
You're not going to upset anyone else.
Right. Or let anybody else down, or
if you're just the only one suffering. But it's not okay.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not cool. And it's one thing if it's a very short, hard season.
It's easy to let control out the window for. I mean it, yeah.
So that's where I'm at. I had a work call with my broker today and kind of went over some of the goals, and they're big
I walked
goals.
in and I was like, oh, goal planning. Here we go.
Like my
January. I love it.
Favorite conversation. I think there's still, I mean, they would be considered big goals.
Yeah.
But they're goals that have been set that I feel like have been set with the knowledge of wanting to be balanced with motherhood and projects that I want to take on outside of personal real estate production and things like that. And
it's hard when you're setting these goals to take everything else into consideration. Like it's a number, like your goals with your brokerage is a number, and it's hard to not want a higher number. Which you could hit, but then you're giving up other things. Like, you're only one person, and it is so hard to take all that other stuff, the time with your kids and the time for yourself and all of the other things
your own
into
projects.
consideration when you put a number on a goal. For me, is what's hard.
It is, but I think where the goal is, and I like to reevaluate my goals halfway through the year and adjust accordingly, because sometimes it's like, wow, I did way more than I thought I was going to do, and I need to make it higher, but but there's also room to adjust and say, I decided I wanted to spend more time with my kids, so this is going to look differently. But I have been, which goes back to, if I was waiting till the new year to change how I spent time with my kids, I'm probably not actually going to do it, because I could have done it before.
Right.
But I changed that a while ago, and now the time that's intentional work time is very structured, and there's still room for work on the days where it's like, this isn't necessarily dedicated work time, because I don't think, as real estate agents, I don't think you cannot tap out. Like, that just doesn't work. Things are time sensitive. If someone's trying to see a house that you have listed, you need to talk to them today.
And it's a forever client.
Like, that's not negotiable. But I think reining in the boundaries more with work and less on personal has been a shift, and I think it's healthy, and I think it's good, and I think that when you have dedicated time to focus specifically on certain things, you do those things much better than you would have done them before.
Because you know what time you have to finish it.
Exactly. Not saying, again,
that it's easy.
I will take a work phone call any minute of any day almost, but sometimes you also need to have dedicated time where you're like, I'm putting my phone down or whatever, or I've turned off my notifications on my email. So I might have certain times a day where I'm going to check my emails, and unless somebody tells me I need to check an email, I'm not going on there, because if it was an emergency, you would have called or texted me. So it's been an interesting evolution for sure. We have a work event tomorrow that'll be really fun. Kind of kick off the new year with. FYI, Tori's still not sure about her dress. If you listen to the previous podcast,
Oh yeah, that was a
we
good
talked
day
about that
too.
on here.
And it was
Tori had found a dress,
Mm-hmm.
and now she's not
I don't know.
sure about her
We'll
dress.
see.
The event's tomorrow,
Yep.
so we will follow up on the
And the
next
person
podcast.
that I am thought it was gonna be Saturday.
Tori thought the event was Saturday and found out, was it yesterday?
Yeah.
That it's
Yeah,
Friday.
yesterday. Yeah. So Mindful's a good one.
So she started,
Mindful's
yeah,
good.
you know, that would be
I
a
might-
good goal for
if
you.
I had one, but I would really fall short on it. I know that for a fact.
I mean, it's all relative. It's about, you're competing with yourself. You're not
Yeah.
competing with me.
Yeah.
So maybe that would be one for you. More mindfulness and how
That's a hard thing
that
to
is a
practice.
hard, yes,
It's hard.
and
How do
it's
you practice
hard to
that?
quantify it. So maybe it's like, before I leave somewhere or before I enter a room, I'm going to think, what should I be paying attention to? What if I've forgotten? Maybe, I don't know. Could that be a goal? Pay attention.
Pay attention.
I'm not sure. Yeah, so she had a little bit of panic, and then she's not
Yeah.
sure about the dress, and now you have one less day than you thought you had for some reason.
Yep. So as soon as we get off of here, I'm gonna go to the mall
Oh my gosh.
and have a panic attack.
To be crying in a changing room today.
Yeah,
That's great.
it's wonderful. I love that for me.
I love
It's a
this
really great
journey for you.
Uh-huh.
For the record, I love Tori's dress, and it's really beautiful on her. And I hope that you wear that dress.
Yeah, we'll see.
But she started questioning it a lot and then found out she had one less day.
Yeah.
But it is tomorrow.
Anxiety, it's so great. It really is. I think that's another thing that makes it hard for me with the goal planning and
It stresses you out.
it consumes me.
Is it because you think you have to hit those things and it feels overwhelming? Or
Yeah,
is it-
It's just, yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Which it can.
it is. All of it is.
Which is why let's focus on how are we going to treat ourselves better this year.
That's a good one. For sure.
And what do I want my lifestyle to look like? Not how many minutes do I want to be on the treadmill, which quantifying it can be very important and very helpful. But if you're someone who has a tendency to lie to yourself, maybe let's make these goals more something where you can check in with yourself every day and be like, have I been kind to myself? Am I being kind to myself about my schedule tomorrow?
Right.
Did I leave room for this thing that I said I was going to do? So we'll see. We'll be checking in, letting you know how we're doing. It is getting time for me this, just over a month postpartum, and have not been leaving the house much. I've been working from home a lot and sending Tori in my stead. But it's probably going to shift in a minute.
Yeah.
And it's it's overwhelming to think about if I'm gonna keep the right balance. Am I gonna be kind enough to myself, to this baby? She's fine. But she's fine. She sleeps when she wants to sleep, and she doesn't sleep when she doesn't want to sleep. She's sleeping right now, which she should not be. She should be awake. And if she would do this at night, that would be really cool. But here we are. So thank you for listening. Anything else, Tori?
No. Good.
Thanks for
Thank
tuning
you.
into one more segment of Torturing Tori with a topic that
Yeah, I feel like that's what we should have named
is
this
hard for
podcast.
her. Torturing Tori. Things that are hard for Tori to talk about.
Yeah.
She hates our daily win setting.
That is,
And she has to be forced to do it.
So terrible.
And just for the record, it's not. I don't set any sort of standard of what the wins could be. The wins could be like put pants on today. That could be the win. But she doesn't.
But
like
nobody
to do it.
else's wins are like that.
Yeah.
And I have to make
But
those wins.
Nobody.
These little itty bitty, jokingly wins. Like
Those
I
are-
just gotta come up with something.
Some of my wins
and that
are
was
tiny.
my problem. That's what I was doing. I was literally just coming up with wins so I could
So you could check
make you
them off,
happy.
But
and that's
maybe,
the reason that's not the reason that I was doing it was because it made you happy, because I'm a people
because I was
pleaser,
making
because
you
you were
do it.
making, but I wasn't doing it for me.
But at the end of the day, it is supposed to give you some satisfaction to be like, I did do those
I don't
things.
feel that way at all.
We're gonna work. She's also defective. I don't think she's under warranty. She's been here for a minute.
No, she's been here, for
we
a
can't
while.
send her back.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work on her. We're gonna figure that out. But no one's life looks like yours. No one's the same as you.
Yeah.
We're all different ages, different lifestyles, different people with different stuff going on. So what's a win for you?
I like the journey. I don't want to plan it. I'm just here.
That is not intentional living. We don't believe in that here.
I feel like it is some of it is.
If you
I'm
just
intentional.
let life take you wherever it takes you, that is not intentional living. And you're going to end up someplace you don't actually want to be.
Okay, thanks for tuning in, guys. See you later.
Thanks, friends.